And I think that's really a good approach. I agree that I think Iotopia could take it. So let's see the bans. Beasts are respecting some of the special picks. Kane ban, not the most standard.
Yeah, definitely not. I do. Before we move further into the draft, I do quickly want to mention that you saying that gives me flashbacks of the Greasy Goblin show match with the Tarek and the Aphelios top,
Yeah, that's a good example.
which was a really good time. But
That's a really good example. I will not diverge too far, but basically, our bot laner plays a ton of Arab, and he played a ton of Swain, so we just wanted to draft Swain for him. And that was like one of the origins of that random ass draft. He could play Swain because he played in Arab, so yeah, that's an interesting way to think about it. I quickly looked at OPGG, and yeah, the Iotopia jungler has only Kane. Only Kane. For 15 days, so yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, yeah. I think when you ban a champion like Kane, it's definitely a target ban, right?
Yeah,
like,
I just wanted to double check it. It was something. So it's quite spicy.
Wait!
Yes, whoa!
Yo! We talked about Iotopia potentially bringing it out the box, but Beasts?
I love Beasts. Beasts are content, man. Beasts, they always give me content, man.
It is the Yasuo first pick, and I mean, honestly, Hacks, depending on how things swing, this is a flex pick into ADC as well.
Oh my god,
the matchup, so...
Oh, it's gonna be spicy. I love this. I think Annie is decent. Yeah. I think Annie is decent. You got a W, but it's not the best, but it's decent. At 6, it gets rough for Yasuo because he can ult W. It's hard for him to win wall. You can just ult him beforehand. You have to predict it. Man, this is content. I wonder... Okay, they're gonna have to draft a knock-up in the first rotation, I feel like. But I don't think you want a blind Malphite.
Alistar, potentially.
You could take, but Alistar is such a, how do you say? For laning, picking it early is a very mediocre pick. Okay, they see Caitlyn, they could sustain, but it's scary if they go for double poke.
What?
They know where
to pick. Wait.
No way they're
We're being baited. Baited. You mustn't get baited by the hovers.
But they insta-locked Yasuo. I'm already sold, man. I've invested all my Bitcoin in Beast Esports.
Why is there no Gamba? Where is my Gamba? I want to put all my points onto Beast Esports.
Oh my god. Jinx makes a lot of sense, and then Diana for the knockup.
See, this is why I say you mustn't get baited by the hovers. See? They bait you.
But okay, they insta look Yasuo. I am sold, man. They didn't hover it. They didn't do any fun. They insta boom, give it up, boom. They were in it, man. Okay, back to draft. Jinx, Diana, good pickup, and you get the AP-AD split. And the other team has picked up also very solid. I think Annie is a special pick. Maybe it caters to Shampoo. I think other picks could be better, but Annie's still kind of fine. Not a control mage, but like a hard engage mid in the sense. And then you get Renata Kate for like the backline right now. So they're looking pretty solid. We got junglers, ADs, and mid's picked up for both sides. Probably some top bans going to come out. I would assume they're gonna ban Malphite on the side of Iotopia for the second ban. I would ban Malphite.
I do think the Garen ban though, and I do think with them locking in Caitlyn Renata, I think Alistar is out the question. I really don't think you want to go Alistar into that lane. Even though it does give you another knockup for the Yasuo, I think it wouldn't necessarily be a great matchup for you. It is the Seraphine Pantheon ban on the side of Iotopia though, Jarvan taken away for the side of Beasts, which I think is a strange ban in my opinion, but it is early game pressure, which could be rough to play against if you're the Yasuo Diana.
Yeah, the Seraphine, I mean, the Jarvan ban makes sense. Jarvan's a strong jungler. Pantheon ban is a bit interesting. I'm not sure. Maybe it's some background research. Yone ban, maybe if they have a good top player for it. I don't know why the Yone ban actually has to be a specific. I think Seraphine, Pantheon, and Yone are like specific bans. I would assume for the specific players. Jarvan ban is just like a general, fine ban, and they haven't picked a jungler. I think Jarvan would fit quite nicely into Iotopia's comp. So, Diego. Goddamn.
Every time it transfers over to Beast, I get excited. Every time that picker turns blue and the timer runs down, blood starts pumping in my veins, man.
Dude, both of these teams looking spicy, man.
There's a Yasuo, there's a Diana.
There's Diego with Renata.
This is attacks. I'm telling you, this is gonna be a good game.
This could be competent.
This is gonna be a good
And
game.
I knew my boy, the WAP, could draft me content. I knew he could draft me content. Lulu,
The
I like Lulu.
wappy
Here.
later.
The Lulu Malphite here. The only issue could be a Silas. But like, they've already kind of picked it. Like, it's whatever.
True. I do like the Lulu pick though. I like the
Lulu
Lulu picks pairing up with the Jinx. You know, a hyper carry as well.
It's also a knockup. It's also a knockup. You can use it for knockup.
True. We wild growth Diana when he jumps in, so it's another knockup.
No, you counter engage Yasuo on the Jinx. Boom! Wild growth. Too easy. Okay, Ord is very good. I like Ord. Ord's better than Malphite. I forgot he had a knockup. He has like 2. Okay, they're solid comp from Beasts. Very solid so far.
I think this is really good. This is actually, I would argue, the comp out of Beasts is better than either of the ones we saw in our previous game. I think this is really, like, just all around, I think it's really good.
I think on paper it's a worse draft, but I like that I can see that they're drafting for the. Is this a Viego lane? Is this where is the Maokai? It's top Maokai. Okay.
This is top Maokai.
This ancient. I like this. Okay, we can see here. This is something I feel like a lot of teams don't do. I like when teams draft specific champs because they know the players is good on. And like we can really see in both of these teams, I feel like they drafted an early Annie when they saw the Yasuo because probably they know they're mid solid Annie or something like similar to that. It's like nice. Okay, we get the Annie into Yasuo. And similar for the Maokai, the Diana, the Yasuo, they pick these comfort picks. And that's just good. Like, you know you're going to be able to execute.
True. Actually true. I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. But overall, right? I think this Maokai top, this is a curveball. I don't think it changes much, considering it's still Ornn. It is still a tank versus tank matchup. So I don't really expect top lane to go the way of Iotopia just because Ornn base damage and Ornn generally beats most tanks in the game because of this base damage and just generally out damages most of them as well. And being able to sort of go unstoppable during Maokai W is really nice. So I do expect top lane to go the way of Beast Esports, but I don't care about this top lane. I'm gonna be looking at mid lane. I'm gonna be looking at the Diana. I want to see some action.
I think mid's gonna be hot. You got Viego Annie and you got Diana Yasuo. I think mid's gonna be very hot overall.
Are you saying that because of Annie, like fire?
No, it's just gonna be a lot of action.
Uh,
Again, Diana Yasuo, Viego is very aggressive, and I think Viego
True.
should beat Diana level 3 to 4 in a 1v1. But if you add in like the mids, it gets more. Like the 2v2 is suspicious. It's all about who bursts the other one first.
I mean, I think it's a lot of execution.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at Annie Viego versus Yasuo Diana. I think it's gonna be a lot to do with execution. I think once level 6 hits for both of these teams, I think this game is gonna blow up in our faces. It is gonna be so much aggression, I feel like, coming out from both teams, just because of so much engage on the side of Iotopia as well, with the Maokai and plus the Annie stun. It is gonna be really exciting to watch.
Teamfight's gonna be very spicy. I mean, it's all gonna come down to getting the knockup execution. And if they don't get a good knockup execution, I think the counter engage from Iotopia is very good. And they have Caitlyn, which is fine. Like that team has Jinx. But I think if they get a good counter engage, they can isolate targets like Yasuo, like Diana. And if they can do that, then they win it. But it all comes down to like Renata with Maokai ult for like counter engage and also Annie just bursting whoever jumps in first. I think Iotopia's comp is like really good because they can really peel for the Kate.
True.
We'll see though. Like she has to get a good lane phase. They have a good lane. Like Renata, Caitlyn, good against Lulu, Jinx. I would say it's stronger with Kate Renata. But I feel like they will have to try and pick up like a couple plays bot lane to really make it worth it to have a Caitlyn.
Yeah, which I mean, it's not the easiest thing to do against Jinx, right? Jinx with his rocket does have a lot of wave clear, especially earlier into the game, and as well, I feel like this Annie is gonna have to do big things just because of the Diana Yasuo on the other side. But like you said, I think with Iotopia locking it in so quickly after the Yasuo pick, it is comfort for their mid laner, and I think when you're looking at a team that's like worse on paper, I think drafting comfort is exactly the way and the direction you should always go.
For sure. I think Beast's draft looks more solid. I feel like it really is a cohesive draft. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I think both of these comps really come down to execution. It's not like your stock standard drafts. They have like very specific game plans, I feel like. So you really have to, if you know the game plan well, I think it comes down to that. I think if Beasts execute like decently, I think they will win it quite convincingly. But we'll have to see.
I mean, it's all about the Diana, so right,
Yeah.
like that's the big thing they've drafted for, as well as the Ornn. And it's gonna be hard to play the game. I feel like if you are gonna be Iotopia later on, just because the Ornn knockup into the Yasuo combo plus the Diana. I think early game you talked about it a little bit, but with Viego going precision, which I think he should do, whether it's the Conqueror or the Lethal Tempo, I've seen both. So I think it is just gonna be a thing where we're gonna have to see in game. I think he does beat out the Diana early game in elongated fights, just because that's sort of what the precision tree is meant to do with Conqueror and Lethal Tempo. Both are runes that scale on into the fight, whereas Diana normally goes Electrocute, prefers that sort of burst style, and I think depending on that, it is gonna favor the Viego. But we could also potentially, I know this isn't common, but I have seen Phase Rush Diana,
Oh,
to
that could
help
be
you fight.
nice. That could be nice, actually.
And I don't think it's bad in this situation because you're looking at a Caitlyn, got a lot of range. Viego does have a lot of movement with his ultimate as well as the stealth. I don't think it's bad.
What is the standard? Like I rarely see Dianas nowadays.
I
What
think
is
the
the
standard rule
standard
is
rune? Like
Electrocute.
Conqueror? It's Conqueror. It looks like.
Is it Conqueror?
It looks like it.
I would
But I am pretty
imagine it's
sure
Electrocute.
Electrocute is a second rune. But is this mid or jungle? Yeah, it's mid. No jungle.
What?
It looks like a Conqueror. Well, it makes sense. And you can go like a tanky Diana, which is what I would like to
True.
see. Because I feel like Diana's is the setup mostly. So I wouldn't mind like going a tankier Diana. You could go like the normal like Nashers. I'm assuming it's probably gonna be something like I don't know, Rocket Belt maybe, or Ludens. I don't know what you prefer. Probably Rocket Belt. If I would have to guess.
Yeah. I think I'm still used to like old one shot Diana. I completely forgot about Jack Show, which is something we are used to seeing on Diana. A more of a sort of a tankier build, like you said. It's very good in long fights where you can just drain your enemy,
Hmm.
which I do think you can opt in for the Conqueror if that is the route you want to go. But I think against what they're gonna be going up against, which is the comp of Iotopia, I'm not entirely sure if Electrocute is necessarily the way to go.
I don't mind it though because I don't feel like the fights are gonna be really long. At least not for the Diana specifically. It might be longer fights for the rest of the team, but seeing as or Diana are like the main engagers, they will die relatively quickly in most fights. I don't know if it's worth it to go Conqueror. It could be just to get the early game.
True. I mean, it is all about if you want to match the Viego pressure, right? Because I think if it is Conqueror versus Conqueror, I think Diana has a very good chance at taking on the Viego. But I think it's gonna depend a lot on room setup as well. And I do think that when you're looking at things like a Diana, it's such a versatile champion as well. I think Diana is one of those things where you sort of have a lot of options. You have the Jack Show, like you mentioned. You've got as well as the sort of full one-shot rocket belt, Nashor's Tooth, sort of Lich Bane, and completely just blow somebody up, which is what I'm used to seeing as well.
Yeah, I
So
think it depends, right? I think even Nashor's into Sonias could be fine. Like skipping a mythic for a bit.
true.
Just going for the Sonias and then use Sonia. Problem is Kate exists, so you could get Kate trapped. But Sonias is technically good.
Yeah, going Zonius into Caitlyn never feels good.
Nah, it never
That's
feels
like
good.
giving her a free trap is never really ideal. We are having some technical difficulties, having to some people restart their clients at the moment, struggling to get into game. So we'll get into game shortly. But overall, I don't think I actually asked you this yet. Which comp do you think you prefer here?
Good question. I prefer beasts for sure. And I just think the draft is very cohesive and they have the Jinx. Like Jinx, I don't think has been really hit yet with a lot of nerfs, and she is like one of the strongest ADCs, I would say. So I think getting Jinx and like you have a solid front line, but you also have a good way to engage. Just looks good.
Yeah, I think getting this Jinx to lose actually was actually a big win in draft for the side of Beast, and I think locking in a Yasuo first pick, just insta-locking it, I think they are so far in Iotopia's heads with that. It is such a mental boom.
Okay, let's actually have a look. Because this is important, right? Yasuo, very specific champion. Very specific champion.
Okay.
Does Danny88, the Mid of Beasts, play Yasuo? He does. Okay.
He
That's
does.
good. He has 88% win rate of some queue. I don't know which. That looks good. But that means he does play it, which is nice.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
This isn't like, he's not like on a first time, it surely.
I expect anything from anyone, let's put it that way. Like, I wouldn't mind people bringing out special drafts, right? Because your standard drafts, people technically should have prepared for, mostly. So they could get banned out. So having like a secondary, like spicier draft prepared is, I wouldn't say uncommon.
True. Actually true. And I think overall as well, there are a couple of, I think, to me, sort of surprises here. I mean, granted, I never saw Yasuo, so that's a big surprise, I think, for all of us. But I think on the other side, Caitlyn as well, because I don't think Caitlyn is, in my opinion, the easiest champion in the world to execute, especially in sort of like a team environment.
I think
And
it's, how would you say? It's easier in a team environment than solo queue, but Caitlyn,
really?
I would say so. I
How
think
so?
picking Caitlyn in solo queue is just begging to be sad because
Oh, what?
Caitlyn is quite quote unquote, I would say simple as a champion, but it relies on you pressuring lane. And to pressure lane, you need to have your jungler on that side of the map. So for example, say I have Jinx, Lulu against Caitlyn Renata, this is not really like a super punish lane. But like if, for example, if you faced like say Vayne and Alistar, you could easily poke them out and just take a lot of plates, and they can't really do much about it, except if they get ganked. So what you want to do as a Caitlyn is typically have the jungler on your side of the map, and then you just pressure hard on turret and poke them out. And there's not a lot of champs that can actually win against Caitlyn unless you really misplay the matchup. But it puts a lot of pressure on you because you have to win lane, and if you don't win lane, you're in a really bad spot.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. You gotta be very knowledgeable about lanes, I would say. But if you know most of the Caitlyn lanes and you can execute those lanes fine, then it's just laning essentially, and it's more of an onus on the enemy to do something against you than it is on you to perform like exceptionally in a sense.
I mean, it's what you talked about earlier as well, right? We are expecting for the side of Iotopia to play for some plates in the bot lane, just because it is a Kate Renata lane, like you said, very oppressive as well. And it will be interesting to see whether it is going to be the path into the bot lane. I'm expecting for it to be, just because, like you said, Caitlyn really loves to sort of have that support and to be played around in the early game. But what I'm interested in is gonna be this Maokai top later on into the game, because I think you did say it's comfort. I do think there are better tanks out there, but it's spicy, it's exciting, it's something we aren't used to seeing. So I think whether it is gonna be good or not, I think it's still a fun draft, I think, out of both teams. And for me, this is gonna be a much more exciting game to watch than game one. Probably more hectic, considering it is a Maokai top with Yasuo Diana on the other side, as well as a Caitlyn in the bot lane. But I'm definitely here for it.
I mean, we have a lot of more trigger happy champs compared to last game. So last game we had, for example, Ivern and the Rel, and they are like more of these team fight slash. They don't really do like a lot of early game activities. Now you have Diana Viego in the jungle, and Viego is like the most trigger happy champion in the game in some sense. Like he wants to fight a lot of the time. You also have Yasuo, which is like similar, usually fights in lane, although Annie is able to stop it to a degree with W and passive. So there will definitely be more action. Like regarding the top matchup, I think Maokai is completely fine. Maokai has a good kit into Ornn, I would say, and he has sustain, so he's completely fine. But I don't think they're gonna solo kill each other anytime soon.
I think top lane is gonna be a non-factor for most of the game. But
Yeah.
the real question is, will this Viego live up to the same standard as you did in the ARAM game during the break? That's the real question.
Well, I hope he lives beyond it and gets a penta. I only got a quadra, so let's hope he gets a penta.
Oh, true.
I'm cheering for my boy.
Did take your penta. The
My
Wukong did
boy
take your penta.
ETP Warhammer. I
Okay.
believe in him. I
Pog.
believe in him.
In game though, we are finally in game. Danny
We
8
are
by
in
8
game.
on the Yasuo, Night Fury on the Diana. I'm here for it. Let's go. Mom go Sky on the Ornn. Great username, by the way. I like that.
It's good. And we're seeing a default. They are taking it slow and steady. I think most teams, well, they are invading bot side actually. They're doing some spicy little. I like that they're taking some space bot lane actually. Setting up their Kate lane a bit. They might go for the. Ooh, they go for the cheese. Ooh, this could be good, eh?
This is good. I think if you are the side of Iotopia, I don't think you're looking to trade here level 1. I think just because the WAP having the shields and the heal as well, I think you are just looking to get prio on the wave. So I would love to see the side of Iotopia prioritize minions here instead of actually trying to go for kills or trying to go for champion damage here. But we do actually see Warhammer taking a little bit of damage from somewhere. Not entirely sure where that came from, but
They might have trouble walking up
entirely
here though. I think Iotopia is gonna get a good chunk here if they walk up and they used to E from Renata and Q from Caitlyn. But they missed the window a bit. They're waiting. Oh, they're gonna win. Oh, they're looking to mega win.
Going for it though. Wow.
I don't know if this is super good though. They have to focus the Jinx. This might be suspicious. Lethal is out. They're still dealing damage. Looking kind of okay. Does he have E? He does have E. He does miss it. Missing the Q. Yeah.
That was scary.
We talked about it. I would say this is not how you want to play the Kate lane. Because you have longer range, you can typically fight without trading all in. That was more of like a, I don't know, Draven Leona move, if you can call it that. I still think they're gonna be pretty fine, but losing the wave state like this is a bit saddening for the Kate side.
Yeah, I think losing Prio is really sad if you are a Caitlyn here. But in the other hand, there is also Lethal Temple versus Fleet Footwork. So on paper, given enough time, Ayer is gonna sort of get more health back than Vademori is, which means it might be worth it. But this top lane, we said there was gonna be minimal action. They are bonking each other on the head.
Dude, I love it when top lane tank means trade. Oh my god.
Oh, they are in.
He has no mana though. I think ITP got some good trades off, but he just has no mana.
I mean, this is one of the issues with Makai in the top lane as well. He's a spellcaster in the top lane. I think he does love to smash his brambles. He loves to press Q, loves to press saplings, and those spells take a lot of mana in the early game. In jungle, you have the mana reach, but in the top lane, not so much, which is why you see him struggle with his mana pool a little bit. But bot lane does seem to have stabilized a little bit. Everyone got their backs off. You see a call inside the inventory of Vademori. Ayer is gonna opt into a dagger instead, not gonna match the call on the other side, and so far all things have quieted down a bit.
For sure. I think it's like, how to say, suboptimal. I don't think it's like a disaster or anything. But I do think the Kate lane, not off to the greatest of starts. Mid has a rough CS differential at the moment, with Danny holding like a bit of a freeze, making it rough for Toxic to walk up. And he does that is Diana here as well, so yeah, it's hard for Toxic. He's having a rough time. The freeze will break, but 29 CS to 7 is not the greatest.
Yeah, it's not the ideal situation, as well as the XP. Toxic lost. The gank in the bot lane though.
The flash!
Forward.
Missing Q. Stun comes out. No cleanse. He does have flash still though.
Ooh, should be fine. Yeah, it's a good chunk though. It is a great chunk onto Vademori, and this is what we talked about though. Like, this is the kind of pressure you expect to be put into a Caitlyn. I leave walking a
big damage.
Suspiciously.
A lot of damage coming out.
I'm entirely sure about that move.
I mean, he wants to get pressure, but I think what they really need to do now is just push up and try to poke the enemy laner out. And try to farm as much plate as possible. They have a good chunk now on Jinx, so they can never all in if they play like together. Lek is low, but realistically they should not be able to all in anyway, because they can kill the Jinx. And that trading is completely fine.
Yeah, and this as well is something we mentioned in draft. Jinx just has such good wave clear as well. It's not the easiest thing to get plates into her, as well as the Lulu being able to buff up her attack speed in the early game. But you do see first jungle as well being Chemtech, which means I doubt there's gonna be a whole lot of prio on it. You do see both junglers opting to a lot more farming instead. And interestingly enough, Night Fury opting into an early Bami Cinder, which tells me this is gonna be, like you said, Hacks, more of a tanky Diana.
Yeah, it makes sense, and she has gone for Conquer, so they're looking for like the longer fights in a sense. Otherwise I think the Electric it could have been good if she went for like the one-shot build. Ayer taking damage, does get the auto soft though. Good trading back. But it is looking semi-rough. Vadamori and WAP playing it quite good in bot lane, staying even. And mid is still very rough from the side of Toxic.
Danny 8-bite with the little emote.
He's
I
having
like
a good time.
He's having a good time. Cannon is gonna go towards Toxic though. You do see level 6 though, onto Toxic, which should make this matchup a little bit more playable. As I say that. Oh,
Dodge.
great moves.
Very good dodge from Toxic. He didn't have his passive up, so it was a bit scary. Here comes Warhammer. This guy
No
got the Mongo
six.
Sky. Should be good. Do we get W? No, just get the stun. Could do a lot of damage here if he gets a W.
It's a
Or
lot of
W.
damage coming
Ooh, flash!
out.
Damn!
Oh my god, the bonk.
The bonk. The Orn Classic. Ooh, Toxic has to flash. Both flashing on mid.
Wait, gank in the bot lane.
Good old Annie Bear. Ooh, gank at the bot lane indeed, but they got the kill down onto Io. And this is looking rough from the side of Iotopia, and it's already a 2 to 3k gold lead on the side of Beasts.
Yeah, and I think it's really sad to see. I'm gonna go into a point in a little bit as we take a look back at the replay. You can see, just this is what I talked about, right? Ornn with the base damage is so high. Just one riddle proc onto the next. Warhammer taking so much damage. Big minion wave as well for Mongo. Sky does not make it any easier. Toxic almost ends up falling in the mid lane, but this is... Wait.
We go again!
Oh! Ah, unlucky.
Let's look in the roof. Yeah, Ornn has a surprising amount of damage for a tank, which is why he's like one of the most solid tanks. And he has Cull, apparently, which is a Chad move. If he had Flash, he'd probably kill again.
Yeah,
Looking for the Brittle.
playing
They
with
could
fire,
dive this.
I think.
Oh, Danny's deep, though.
Wait.
Does get out. Don't see them
Level
catch
4 Renata and level 5 Diego. Oh.
Yeah. They're looking to dive top lane, I think. Viego is moving up. Maybe he knows it's gonna happen. WAP on the roam. And everyone's just everywhere right now, I feel like. And Danny is... Ooh, putting him into the Annie. Ooh, the tower, though. No stun from the Annie. Didn't have the passive up. And there was a kill in top lane. No, who killed who? Well, top lane is traded.
It's a 1-for-1 though. I think considering the position that just high skill was in, I don't think it's that bad.
I didn't look like he lost a lot of the wave either, so I think it's kind of fine.
Yeah,
Losing the wave would be a big deal.
I think it is a little bit sad to see though. Ayer could be in a little bit of trouble. The controller does put out the what, but I think it is a little bit sad to see the bot lane state of Iotopia because I think they had a great start with the cheese they did. I still think I would have loved to see them prioritize the wave instead of the sort of 2v2 that they ended up taking. But I think it is still it's a good proactive move, right? And it does show that they still have some game knowledge on the side of Iotopia to sort of pull that off. Warhammer?
Here comes the engage into Yasuo. Oh, but Viego is dead.
That's the
Better
combo.
than dead. That's the good old combo. They have it down pat, showing that they know their combo. Indeed.
They regarding the buttons.
Regarding the bot lane, I think the cheese they did was good, but I would have preferred to see them just use their spells to get poke, and then they use backup, and then just say prioritize the wave. Then I think they would have been in a good position.
Yeah, definitely. So far, I don't think any plates have fallen. Can we get a quick bot lane check on the plates? Yeah, no plates have fallen so far for the blue side, which does mean Ayer not be able to pick up any of that gold anytime soon. You do see a plate falling in the mid lane though. 28 byte gonna be with a lead. Stat 50 CS is rough for Toxic.
Ooh, damage coming out of Vadamori. He's hunting down Ire. They both have ghost though. Oh, that Q is risky.
That Q is really risky.
Could have kept running, but it is what it is. The bot lane does go down, and this is yeah, it looks like Beasts have a very solid lead. It's a very big lead actually, 5k, 9 minutes in. No dragons taken, but this gold league is quite massive. Oh, Toxic. We're looking for the solo bolo. Good old bear energy. Gets the ult onto
Warhammer?
Do we have the flash ult? Flash Q? Flash W?
Flash something?
No flash.
No flash.
No flash.
Flash is gonna be saved for a rainy day.
I feel like he wanted to get something back, but it's still fine to not do anything there.
Oh.
It was just a misplay anyway.
Danny 8-bite with the mastery emote though.
This is not I don't know how much mana he has, but this is kind of fine for Maokai, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's ever gonna die out of this. TP is up as well. Dragon is up. I don't know if he's gonna want to save his TP for that, but if he does base now, I expect him to TP back. He's gonna cancel the base, which means he wants to stick around for a little bit longer.
Ooh.
I would have not have been
Night Fury
surprised
is
to see an
here.
early
Lek is gonna
tier.
get caught out. He's going to go down. No reprise. No reprise. And the Ire, no summoner should be dead.
Yeah, I don't think you can really outplay this.
It's
Super
rough.
Let's kill donate the Valimori as well as solo kill in the top lane. Meanwhile, there is a dead Maokai, and I would have
It's
liked
rough.
to see. I would have liked to see just high skill. I think go for an early tier, just because we are seeing time and time again that he is running out of mana.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it here.
Yeah, but I also think like this is the sort of Orin thing where you sort of just stat check any tank in the game because Orin haha T funny. That's kind of what we're seeing.
There are ways to outplay. Like if he had more mana, I think what he does is he did it early game. You dodge the W brittle stack. If you do that, Orin doesn't have a ton of damage unless he maxes Q, which almost no one does. So I think there are ways that he could outplay the matchup, but it's just that typically people don't dodge the W. I think people just disrespect Orin because it's a tank, and we're gonna see a diver in mid lane. Toxic is dead. There comes the ult. Doesn't even need the Yasuo.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't even need the Yasuo Diana combo. Sometimes you just need the Diana combo.
The Diana solo combo. They're looking to get something to happen in bot lane, but I think it's rough.
Yeah, I think it's very rough. You can see Night Fury, he is behind. Keep in mind, the ultimate on the Diana was used in the mid lane just moments ago. Warhammer is gonna be
There's a
jumped
lot
on.
of gold though. That's a lot of
Oh,
gold.
the flash!
Oh my god.
Oh.
And Vladimir is running on the Caitlyn.
It is a
W has to reset. Boom.
disaster.
He's flashing it.
A great
Wild
flash
growth.
forward.
The weapon Vadimori. And this is 15-1. This is
Is a little
very
bit of a
hard gold
disaster.
lead to come back from.
Yeah.
We will see. There are like a lot of shutdowns to pick up. I just don't know how they're gonna pick them up. They could do it with some spicy anti combos, but they would have to catch them out without the Lulu or without support from their team, which is hard.
Okay, Hacks. What is the way for Iotopia to get back to this game?
They need shutdowns, for sure. And I would think they would need... If they're coming back, which is admittedly extremely hard, like they should never be able to come back given no mistakes from Beasts, because 10k is enormous gold lead this early. If they do come back, they would need to get... I'm trying to think. I think the best would actually be to get both shutdowns onto Viego, and then somehow have him like carry the game for a long time. That would be like the one way, I think. I think if you get it onto Caitlyn, it's just not good enough.
Yeah, I also think if you can somehow catch out one person and get a Viego reset, I think in a team fight, you have a good chance. Just because then you can take the soul of the Fed Diana or the Fed Jinx. That's a flash forward. That was only 8 by 8. Ire gonna be in trouble in the bot lane. Should just fall here. The trap keeping alive for now, but the Nado at the other side of the tower is gonna make him fall. 3 men in the mid lane. Do you see Iotopia grouping up in the mid lane? Ire a little bit caught out right there. And like you said, rough seas so far for the ship that is Iotopia to sail.
Yeah, they don't want to keep the Caitlyn. They would probably like to rotate the Caitlyn over to mid, but they don't really have anyone that can side lane now anyway, due to the gold difference. So no one can really match the side lane where Yasuo is, or the Ornn, essentially. So
Yeah.
I am not sure how they're going to handle side lanes. It will be quite rough for a while. And the Ornn is just beating this turret up. And here comes the boys, the squad. And Maokai is sad.
I think he might move on from the tower to the Maokai just about now.
Oh no, missing the flash!
The flash! No,
it is rough.
It is tough. It is rough. That is when you need the crab hands up emote.
Yeah, the crab hands up emote. No!
That's when you need it. Yes, that's the one. I think that's where you need to pull it.
That's where you need to pull it, actually. Maybe they would let you live.
True.
There's a chance.
Chat, wait, support interaction? Wait, they're fighting?
They're beating each other up.
Beat her up.
The whack coming up victorious.
Surely Lulu wins that, no?
Yes.
Surely in an isolated one go between the support, Lulu wins that.
There's minions. They betray me.
No. Wait, Warhammer?
No, I'm TPing in.
Ooh.
Respectful TP.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, can I just say, look at the vision on the top side of the map.
Yeah, they love red side.
Like, this top side of the jungle is completely lit up.
To be fair, it's almost too much vision. You only need like the 2 deep wards, and you also have a red ward beyond the 2 wards, but it is where this is good. Here comes the execute onto Toxic into the Jinx traps, and he is dead.
Yeah,
It's
I
tough.
think without flash, not really much you can do there.
Yeah, what they are kind of continuing to lane, and what they really need to do on the side of Iotopia, even though it's hard, is to just try and group up and get any type of play going. Because most of these plays are a bit like disjointed. So if they group, they would have like the best chances of doing it.
Wait.
Might get the kill onto Vadamori.
Wait.
Close.
Oh, that's a great ultimate out of Danny 8 by it. Gonna get to
That's
knock
tough.
up triple kill for Vadamori. Your shoot fall here as well. Danny 8 by gonna just walk up, get the dash.
Ooh, dodging the
also
Q, but he
attack
can out though.
Mastery mode being tossed a little bit toxic when you're up by 22 kills, but
He outskilled the Yasuo. He out-attacked. Now, ooh, here comes the ulti from Diana. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that Diana is tanky and deals damage. The worst combination. Though, Toxic does pick up the Bat though, and almost picking up Vadamori. And like, what you saw in the jungle, like in the blue side jungle, while the beasts are just teaching here, they want to like group up like that earlier. If they group up like that and try to cash in the shutdowns, they could have had ways to get fights that were like advantageous for them. Like, not really advantageous because they're behind in gold, but they're like numbers advantage. Like here they even have like 1 man down. Imagine if they had like an Annie here and they just execute with Maokai ult onto the Jinx and the Lulu. They could have like potential.
We talked about, right? Like Viego gets a reset here and it looks really good, no?
And also get the reset is the thing. He barely lives, but if he does get the reset, maybe there is like better hope.
Maybe.
But like if they had an Annie there, for example, or a Flash Engage, or any type of group where they were like 5 against beasts and they are not like exactly all 5, and they just hard engage one person, that would be like the one way to get back. And they could also cash in like big shutdowns.
Yeah. I think though at this point it might be a little bit too late.
At this point it's probably too late.
If they did it earlier, I think they would have still had a shot. But you're looking at what? A 17,000 gold lead at 17 minutes into the game?
It is at this point very, or basically possible. The thing is, so like when you're down like 5 to 10k, it's really bad. But you can kind of equalize the game by having one bad play from enemy team, which usually happens, like at some point. The thing is, to stabilize now, they would need a lot of bad plays, which is harder. Because typically teams only do like 1 bad play, and then they kind of reset into some other more consistent types of play. And then it's harder for you, because then you have to become the initiator, so to say. Teams can typically give you like 1 bad play, and like getting called out.
Try to do some initiating of his own.
Yeah, wants to get vision, but it's spooky. High skill, being sad. He's been on the top turret for like almost the entire game.
Yeah, true, as well. But you can see that just high skill again. He's already burned through half of his mana bar. Oh, he's in trouble.
He's in trouble.
Oh,
but he has his team coming up. Like if they rotate everyone over here and fight on the turret, it's not bad.
Wild Grove.
Could get a reset onto that, does flash out.
Oh,
High skill will go down, no reset. Does get even out the ult, but does barely miss it.
Oh, that's it's great flash though.
Yeah, it's tough because in a sense the players would be to just rotate the Annie over and then maybe sacrifice a Nexus turret, but it feels very bad. Like it feels extremely bad to do. So I can see why they're not doing it.
Yeah, I think it feels pretty risky as well.
It is risky, but like so when you're down 5 to 10k gold,
okay, true.
You have to take risks. That's the only way you're gonna win.
Yeah, yeah. You're not wrong. But this is the base of Iotopia is getting torn to shreds.
So they might hard engage here. Oh, they're gonna hard engage. 2 people down. They could probably end here.
Oh my god.
They will get Mom goes, Sky goes down though. And Vadamori also goes down here actually. Turret and a lot of damage. Reset coming in. Could go into the VAP.
Wait.
Ult onto the VAP. Maybe.
Oh,
Polymorph is too good. Polymorph is broken.
Oh my god.
The Toxic is a lot alive. That was a crit. I was about to say they could have gone Baron to make like the more consistent end, but they just went for the hard engage, and if they win the hard engage, it looks good. So nice for him to go down, but they could just hit Nexus.
See the face of Warhammer. He's just sitting there spamming R, and then he gets Polymorph.
Yeah, Polymorph is like Lulu. You mentioned Wild Growth for like the combo. Oh, here he doesn't damage though. Caitlyn. Ooh, it does go for it. I like it. There's a lot of minions. It's Yasuo territory.
Wait,
Nice shot
Black.
from Lek.
that's actually a
And
good.
the
Point.
TP in. Ornn is he beating the Nexus? He is beating the Nexus. Mom goes Sky. He wants to go Sky. He doesn't want to go League. Oh, here
wait,
comes the
I thought-
Renata wave.
what
On the
the-
backside. Daddy? Ah, the minions do end it. Ah, a tough game.